Women share to be bold and take risks. The talks, women say what they feel and mean what they say. Yeah. The talks, believe in your power, so much power. Yeah. The talks where women share, women share. Hey, everybody. Yours truly, Takara Nicole, coming at you. And we're all here. It is not Saturday. No, it is not 10 o'clock in the a.m. It is not 9 o'clock in the a.m. It is Thursday night at 6:30-ish. And we are here in the building on our new night, new day, new time. And we're excited to be here with all of you all. Ladies, what's going on? What's good?
Hey.
Good. Hey,
Happy
y'all.
to be back on with y'all.
Yes.
Good job.
I mean, it seems like we've been gone for a little bit. It's only been like 2 weeks, but it seems like it's been like a month. We're really excited about the change. So, ladies, Tanisha, share something new for the people as it's the 8th month, and we're talking about all things new for the entire month. What's new in your life, girl? What's new?
New in my life. It's so much new. I don't even know where to begin, but we're starting our own new TV show soon, so that's a great thing for millennials. So that's what's up.
All right. Yeah. Liz, something new? Not new, but new.
I'm just working on me. I'm actually gonna start doing more videos more. So I'm gonna be doing more live stream in the next couple of weeks. So we pray for me. Pray for me that I didn't do it.
Baby Liz coming out. So Isha, what's up with you? Something new. Besides this
That's
new
a
hair
lot been going on.
Besides this new hair we got going on. What's something new?
Right, new hair. There's a lot that has taken place since we have last been on, but one of the things that I've been working on, and I'm so proud that I finally started, was my YouTube channel. So
yes.
Subscribe to Aisha the Influencer on YouTube.
Hey, that part. Woohoo! Yes. Okay. And tonight we have a very special segment that we're starting. Hopefully you guys can flow with us, go with us. So we're starting the Coaches Huddle. It is made up of some dope women who come to the platform and to share with us things that are going on in their world, our world, collectively as women. So before we get into that, if you don't know, now you know, we always do quiet, it's quote time. So Isha, take us away. What you got for us? She'll be back. Okay. She's gonna drop us with that good old quote. We're gonna move on forward. We normally it was every first Saturday. Now it's every first Thursday. We have Viola Hall who gives us holistically YouTube. What do you got for us this week, Viola Hall?
Hello, ladies. How are you guys doing this beautiful evening?
We're amazing.
Awesome. So today I kind of just wanted to flow naturally, of course. And so I don't have anything written up or anything, but I kind of want to talk about really like our mental health, as women, especially, when we have families, when we have, husbands, we have a household, we have so much stuff that we're working on. It's very important that we really focus on our mental health.
Mhm.
Just a little bit of kind of like what I went through yesterday, just to give you my own story, my own testimony. Yesterday I was having like an off day for whatever reason, and I didn't understand that. I still breastfeed my son, so I figured maybe it was something that I was experiencing because he normally feeds on both sides at nighttime. And so I thought that's what it was, but I woke up in like excruciating pain in my breast. And I'm like, what is this? Because when you know your body, you know your body as a woman, right?
Right.
And so I had to pray about it, and I was just like, okay, Lord, you said by his.
It's okay that I think we having some technical issues at the moment. She got dropped off. She got kicked off the service, but it's okay. But one way that I definitely have heard. We got Isha back. We got her back. Oh, that was
Yes,
immediate. See, God is in the way.
yes, he is.
Boy, I tell you, I see the enemy already trying us right now. He already
Yep,
trying us. But
It's a
I
lot
already.
just had
going
to
on at
pray
this
about it,
hour.
right? And do you want to do your quote first, or you want me to finish?
Let's go ahead and you can finish what you were saying, and then I'll squeeze that quote in.
Okay, so I prayed about it and then I kept it pushing. But it's very important that, as women, we really should take care of our mentality. It's very important that we really be careful about what we say, especially to ourselves. It's very important that we really surround ourselves around positive people, because even when you're married, you have to make sure that your environment is still positive, because that can really wear and tear on your mindset, especially as women. When you're taking care of the household, you're taking care of children, you're trying to run, successful businesses. Like, there's so much stuff that's going on, in your life, and you have to just make sure that you really take care of your mentality. And so really having an accountability partner or group, it will really help you to kind of get out of that. And as women, a lot of us really don't have that type of environment or that group or that culture to where we can actually say, listen, sis, I'm going crazy right now. Like, something is going on. And I feel like we really need to come together as women to really be able to help each other and make sure it's somebody that you can call on or go to and really tell them how you feel, because having children is tough, y'all. And for all my mothers out there, y'all know exactly what I mean. When you're trying to run a business, you're breastfeeding, you're taking care of the household, you got a husband, you have so much stress going on, in your body. And so you have to be able to just calm yourself down, pray about it, meditate for sure, but then find somebody who you trust, that you can talk to, somebody that's not going to judge you, somebody that's not going to make you feel like what you're saying, is wrong or if it's bad. Because if you're feeling like something is going on with you mentally, you really need to reach out to somebody. So I just want us to really talk about, our minds, really being able to lean on somebody that's not going to judge us. So that was really my topic for today, is just really working on our mentality. And it's okay to ask for help. If you're going through some stressors, if there's something going on inside of you and you need help, ask for help. Don't just be quiet. Don't just let it go, because that stuff is really, really serious. And a lot of people try to be strong. Like, I'm not going to lie, I'm a very strong willed person. I won't ask for help. But if I know me and I know my body, I know something is not right, I'm going to ask for help. So I just want to encourage you ladies out there that if you are experiencing something, like if your mind is off or your body is off, just make sure you reach out for help, and it's okay. It's okay to ask for help.
I think that's so powerful, because as women, we wear so many hats and we do it well. However, there's a lot of times where we can feel uncomfortable about going to somebody else to just um, undress ourselves and be vulnerable, without feeling that later on this person is going to take this and throw it in my face later on. And this is so fitting for tonight's topics, just even talking about the power of shifting from or into new places, it starts in your mind. I know for me, I would hate, and I don't use the word hate. Anybody that knows me, I try not to use that word, but I used to hate to ask for help. It would make me feel so much less than a woman to ask somebody to have my back in certain areas, because I've been in the past, when I do ask for help, it's always thrown up in my face later. Or you ain't this because remember when you asked me for that? And it literally made me just be so hardcore and just do everything myself. And if that meant burnout, I would get burnt out. If that meant, me missing a goal or missing an opportunity because I didn't want to ask for help, whether it be financially, it could have been somebody praying for me. Because let's talk about that. Everybody talk about, oh, girl, I got you. I'm praying for you. Yeah, okay. All right, then stop everything you're doing right now and pray for me, because later on you ain't gonna do it. Even that, and I'm using that in a light sense, but it's also very true as well. But for me, it was very hard. My mom taught me to be an independent woman, because my mom raised me as a single woman, a single mother. So I saw a lot of things my mom went through by herself. So we, as children growing up, sometimes we don't realize how much we mirror our parents until we become adults. And we go through some of these things and you're like, where did this come from? Oh, well, my mom taught me this. Or where did that come from? Oh, well, my grandma taught me that. And some things aren't taught so much, but they're caught. And so when they're caught, you roll and you move and you wondering, where did this come from? And so now I need to unlearn these behaviors because they're no longer healthy for me, because now I can properly identify that I do need help in this area and I do need help in that area. And for me, about 2 years ago, I started seeing the therapist, and it was one of the best things that I could have ever done in my whole entire life. One of the best, because I was able to talk to a complete stranger about my whole entire life. And then God set it up to where she was a prophet. Yeah, I was like, oh, I got a prophetic therapist. Really, God? You're funny. You super duper funny. So, it forced me to be transparent because she knew when I wasn't. I was like, oh, man. But I say all that to say is that, a lot of people talk about they got you, or, they call you sis, and, they have your back. But it can be challenging as a woman, even just to mentally prepare yourself to open your mouth to say the words, I need help.
Right.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you,
So,
sis.
with that being said, with both of you guys' responses is very fitting for the quote for tonight, which is, in order to be new and see new, you have to renew.
Woo-wee! One more again for the people all the way in the back.
Time.
Yeah.
In order to be new and see new, you have to renew. And that comes with, of course, renewing your mind, renewing your perspective, the way you think, the way you see things. Because what you think is pretty much what you see. What you perceive is what your reality is. So in order to change that, you have to renew the things that you see, the way you see them, and the way that you think about those particular things. So we kind of flow as we always do. Everything is always aligned. So that's the quote. If any of you other ladies want to take that and share your thoughts.
Well, I want to say this, going back to what Viola was saying just about her segment. If you guys don't know, it's always about holistically being you. And I think that it's so fitting that we're talking about your mental stability, because sometimes that's the biggest part that's neglected when you're moving and making these changes in your life. We make changes out of feelings and not thinking of how it's going to literally stabilize us from a mental perspective. So, if that makes any sense. So that's all I'm going to say.
Well, for me, this is Nellie.
The quote I think is so fitting, and I like it because I think for us as life coaches, the greatest part is when you could acknowledge that it's time for change. Because a lot of times we complain and we stay stuck in a rut, and then when you realize, like, you know what, it's time for change, that's when change truly start changing in your mind. And a lot of times we and I say we because I always include myself in everything I do, because every day is a learning process. But once we acknowledge it, we got to accept it for what it is, and then we start to forgive and start to figure out what's the next step. And in that, it's like when we first started talking about the things we learned from our parents. I am a true believer in girlfriends. As I've gotten older, I truly, truly believe as women, we have to have good, positive women in our lives. But we have learned so much. Don't trust that chick. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then when somebody did something wrong, we automatically cut them off. And I'm guilty of that too. But I've learned that everybody comes with a different set of baggage and a different set of issues. And we have to learn to embrace each other at the stage that they're in. And hopefully you could help. And hopefully they could acknowledge too and make changes and be a better person for themselves. Because they're not going to be a better person for you. They have to do it for themselves. But once that acknowledgement and acceptance is there and you learn from it, the sky's the limit. The sky is absolutely the limit. But I just feel like we just are so stuck in women are bad company. And we judge so much, and we have to start learning not to judge. Because if I see a sister out there and she's struggling, if I look at her and I say, you know what, she's just pure drama, I'm just as bad as her. And sometimes we're going to fight because we haven't acknowledged it yet. But once they get to that point, there's movement. And the movement is usually in a positive direction. But it takes some work to get there. And sometimes we ourselves have to be forgiven and have compassion for each other. And that's where we kind of always drop the bubble, like, oh, man, I can't deal with her right
now. Right.
I kind of want
to... Oh,
no, I was going to say, I kind of want to piggyback on each of y'all of what you're saying. I've been listening because, I definitely have figured out I need to kind of change my circle of friendships. It doesn't mean that it's bad. Like I didn't have good relationships. I have friendships. I've been friends for like 15 years plus. But when I was going through my struggle, adjusting to motherhood, pregnancy, it wasn't a planned pregnancy, y'all. I'm married, but I'm 34 going on 35. That wasn't in the plans. I wanted to kind of build my business a little longer, be an older mom. And this is what God said for me to do. And a lot of my friends didn't adjust to that. They knew I was struggling with the news and adjusting to expecting a baby coming, and it wasn't planned, and it was hard for me. And they all just automatically assume, well, you're married and you don't need us, you got your husband. Well, my husband wasn't the best support system. I've already had a conversation with him on it because he has a son already, and he kind of already know what to do, and I don't know what to do as a new mom. He thinks I'm supposed to just know, and that was frustrating as well. And I felt like I had nobody to turn to. My friends were just thinking, your husband got it. My husband's thinking, your parents got it. My parents don't live local. So it was like I was in this bubble by myself and trying to adjust, like, okay, when can I work on my book? When can I work on business? When do I got to go to the doctor? When can I cook food? When I'm going to do laundry? It was a lot of things, and I still struggle with it. And she'll be 3 months on Saturday, but I had to have a serious, hard conversation with my girlfriends and my husband and say, I wasn't okay. I wasn't good. And usually for my friends and my husband, I'm the strong one. I'm like, you're good. Kira's got it. She always come to us. She always got us. So she's good. We don't need to check on her. But at that time, like, it was very hard for me. And I had to have some very heart-to-heart conversations with my own husband, my mom, my friends, and it kind of opened their eyes, and they'd be like, okay, yeah, you're married. Okay, we still need to support you. We still need to be there for you. Okay, yeah, I need like a sisterhood. I don't have all these girlfriends just to be cute. I need support when I'm down, and when y'all down, I'm going to get you. And when my friends were down, I was always there for them, and I felt like I had none of those girlfriends there for me when I struggled the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of
What
hard
I
to
was
deal with.
saying
It's
is,
like, who teaches the teacher in a sense. Like, even though
Right.
you are the coach out of the
right,
group, you still need that support to kind of
Mhm.
help build yourself up.
Right.
Yeah.
what I was gonna say was when you guys were talking before to piggyback on two people, you are who you hang with. That's the saying that they used to tell us back in the days. And
Oh God.
for one, you gotta really think about it. We don't like active, we like correction. But you really have to think about it. You are who you hang with. So if you hang around negative people, your mind state gonna be negative. So if it's a person always being negative, their vibes come upon you. You're gonna be negative. So if you're not gonna find somebody positive to be around, then it's your fault. You can't blame nobody but yourself because you sat there and marinated in the nonsense, the unnonsense that they did. So we have to change our mindset and change the ways how we think and change the way how we do things in life. And sometimes it's not going to be hard. And sometimes, no, we're not going to want correction because sometimes when correction comes from a person, it's not who we think we should hear it from. There's nothing wrong with
Mhm.
correction when you're comfortable with your own self. Everybody ain't gonna know everything. Somebody young can teach me something that's I'm older. Somebody young can teach me something new. But that doesn't mean that I come with a negative vibe or say something negative to that person or thinking that I'm better than this person because she gave me some knowledge that I probably didn't even know about or added on to what I already know. No, you just have to come in correction in yourself and knowing that we're not going to be perfect all the time and we can't be corrected by anybody. So when she said that, and I had to write it down. In order to be the new you, to see you, you have to be you. A lot of people don't know how to be themselves. Once you learn how to be yourself, you can be a better you. So get to know yourself first and look at yourself in the mirror at your faults before you point the finger at somebody else. And then you can help each other out. On your behalf, Coach Kera, it's probably time to somebody need to grow up in your circle. They
Girl, yeah.
you sis because they didn't know how to support you.
Right.
And you probably was the main person that helped everybody else in your circle, help
Mhm.
uplifted them. When it was your time to be uplifted, they didn't know how to uplift you.
Mhm.
So don't feel bad. What we do is this, we pray for them. We pray that they grow. And maybe it comes to a point that you might have to teach them some things, and some friends might take it offensive, but it's
Mhm.
okay. As long as you say it with a kind, genuine heart, express yourself that okay, we got to help each other out. And I feel like this: if a person get offended because you being real and being 100 real, it's something wrong with them. It's not nothing wrong with you because everybody got to get corrected. We all do. So maybe sometimes it's just time for us to change our circle. I had to change mine because
Mhm.
where I'm going at right now, the circle I used to be with ain't on that level. And it's okay because some people gonna drop off and we gonna add some people on, but it make a better us, a better woman in us. That's the whole point of sisters in unity and empowerment. If I can't empower my sister without her getting offended with me, then we gotta go another route. Either we gonna do this thing together, we gonna conquer this world together and help lift each other as sisters, or we gotta take another route, or we gotta separate. Point blank. That's just my thoughts.
Let me add on to that. So, yes, I agree with you 100%, Tanisha. Kera, our stories are somewhat similar, except that I didn't have the husband part. Um, a lot of friends, that I thought were like ride or die, die hard friends, and literally dropped from the planet of the earth and was just, didn't exist in my life anymore, which was so mind blowing to me because I never thought that that friend would actually leave, and during the time that I was pregnant at that, and right after my birthday at that. So I totally get it. But yeah, it does start with you. And you had to take a real hard look at yourself. And well, that's what I had to do. I had to take a real hard look at myself because I was pregnant. I wasn't with the guy at that point anymore. And I knew that I was going to be by myself and single about it. But I'm thankful for the support group that I do have, in coming from Chicago and moving back to New York. Because I think I know if it wasn't for my family and the support system that I have, like example from my brother, being that father figure, he's a soon to be father himself. He has no idea what to do, and sometimes he gets things wrong. But the nice thing about it is that we're able to sit down, have that conversation. Don't yell at your child. One, don't yell at my child, but don't yell at your child. So it's a teaching and learning experience. And it's something to be treasured. Really digging deep within yourself and really understanding what that self-love is for you, it, it will blossom into the person that not only you want to be, but the person that everybody sees and they are attracted to that energy. Um, you pull in a certain vibe that you don't even think twice about. So that's the person that I'm trying to grow into. And I'm very vocal, but I'm too blunt. And it's not about how you say, it's not what you said, it's simply how I say it
Mhm.
the wrong way to folks. And the blink, I don't care on my face, I have to change it, you know? Um, because at the end of the day, it's like I can care so much and put in so much of myself that sometimes we get burned. You know, the saying is don't burn your bridges. It's so hard, and I get it, and I'm learning. It's like taking those baby steps to really understanding who I am, who you are, and how to speak with others. It's building and mending and understanding and evolving those relationships. Because real people who are behind you, whether it be your sisterhood, whether it be a lot of my friends don't even live in the same state. Majority of my friends, none of them live in the same state. Okay. But I don't have to speak to you every day in order for me to have an understanding with you that there's still love there. There's no love lost. And we're going to pick right back up where we left off from the last time we spoke, whether it's a year from now, whether it's 6 months from now, whether it's 10 years from now. We're still going to pick up the conversation and it's going to be fresh and it's going to be new. And we're both going to feel like, yeah, we didn't miss a beat. And that's what we need to find and evolve into, and have those tough conversations when we need to have them. Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you know, keeping stuff inside, like keeping those conversations that it's just like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to step on toes, or I don't, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Well, sometimes saying nothing gets you in more trouble than than saying what it is that you needed to say in the first place. So I totally agree, and kind of piggybacking off of everything. Yeah, learning to accept from Nellie, um, accepting and acknowledging it. Yeah, that's the first thing. That's the first step. It's kind of
Mhm.
like the 5 stages of, what is it, grief or
Yeah.
anger or
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're going through. Yeah, I follow that to a T now, and I'm blessed to have the friendships that I have, especially the sisterhoods that that has built within the last 4 years, really. So you definitely get what you want. And if you need a friend, I got you, boo.
And that's what true sisterhood's about, being able to come aside, amazing women who need what you have, or just to be able to um, be on each other's paths, to be able to push and shove and realign and readjust one another accordingly, because we're not always going to get this thing right. And the cool thing about it is being aligned with people who understand that. And so, leading into what we really want to dive into today or tonight, um, this month is based on all things new. So every week we're talking about something in relation to embracing newness. So tonight we really want to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about them on not the romantic ones. We're going to save that for the fourth Thursday for he said, she said, they share. But we really want to talk about the power of knowing when to shift from the old places to embrace the new places within relationships. And I definitely don't mind kicking this off because I'm in a season where I'm still shedding some old people. And
Mhm.
it's okay to release them. It's not saying that you're dirty, you're nasty, you're wrong, or I'm just so good and I'm just this and that, where you can't be a part of my life. That's not what it is. To get to a place to where you're shifting to a new place, you have to take the new equipment needed to help you build in that next season of your life. and some people just simply aren't equipped to go into your new. And okay, the quicker that we can own that, the better, and the faster that we can own this new place that we're walking into. And I think it was probably about 2018, actually, was when I started letting people go. And it was one of the most difficult things for me because I have had relationships with these people from years and years, and their kids call me TT and Godmommy and all these other. But I had to let go of some relationships because it no longer benefited me. And what I mean by that is it was more draining to be with people that didn't fit into my new place and space. And it's not to say that these people, like I said, are rude, disrespectful, whatever, whatever. However, sometimes you just can't take old into the new and expect to build. It's not going to work. And so I literally started to shift the circles that I was in, more like personal development circles, and just really understanding what personal development was. I've always been a driven person, always been one to smash goals, but personal development was that thing that I was lacking, and I didn't realize it until I changed my circle. So sometimes we're so comfortable in a place where we don't really even acknowledge what we need to thrive because it's just simply not made available to us. It's information that we haven't been seeking out to gain that's been sitting right in front of us because we didn't know it was there to begin with until you really take yourself out of one place and shift into another place. And it's kind of like, you know, have you ever gone to an open house of a beautiful house in the neighborhood and you're like so excited to open the door because you know that it's a brand new place and the new smell of the new house just being done because it's new construction and you're excited because it's a new place. You don't know what the dimensions of the room are going to look like. You don't know how big the kitchen is. It's just exciting. That's what shifting is like. If we embrace it in that capacity, it can be a really exciting place because we don't know what to expect. However, we're in a place of expectation that it has to be better than what we just left. And so that helped me in so many ways when I started to shift my circles. And then I started meeting people who were like me, who were driven, who were business owners, who were thriving in areas that I've always desired to thrive in, didn't know how to get there. I'm like, man, all I had to do was shift. Are you kidding me? You know, so then I'm like, dang, girl, what else you missed? You know, what else you missed out on because you didn't shift. And so you're scared to step out and meet new people. And for me, I'm an only child. So it was like, there's always that challenge. Like, I love being by myself. So I'm being real. I love being alone. It's cool. You know, I can leave leftovers in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 days and get it on the 4th day and know that it's mine and know that nobody, you know, stuff like that. Lord help me. But, you know, there's benefits to that thing. So, you know, I had to understand that this thing ain't always about me. So being able to be around other people, I realized that I had something other people needed and that I was able to gain from other people. It was such a healthy exchange. I was like, man, this is exciting. So, and I've been on the quest ever since, just to shift my circles and be around different people and learn different things. And man, it's a whole new ballgame. So, I wanted to share from my book. One thing that I said, and it's funny how we talk about these things and I'm able to go back to my book. It's really crazy. Choose to be around people who desire to see the best for you. And with desiring for you to be the best, they're going to keep it real with you. And trust me, this makes you own the process that you're going through all the more. Keep it real with yourself as you're owning your process. Man, I'm telling you, it's a game changer when you have like minds around you. These women on this panel, ladies and gentlemen, are women who are like-minded. Now, Isha's walk is different than mine, and Tanisha's walk is different than mine in some ways. And Nellie, Nellie just killing the game where she's at. Kera doing her thing in Texas. But we can all come together and share so much because we're aligned in the fact that it's beyond being African American women. It's beyond being women. It's the fact that we're aligned in a place to where we understand the importance of new. We understand the importance of relationships, and we understand the power in shifting from one place to the next. I'm done talking. Someone else.
So I'm gonna put myself for shifting because as you were talking, I just started thinking about something. With shifting, it's scary, and let's be real, it's scary.
Yep.
But I will tell you what I've learned. Like I would put it like this: I was standing on this ledge, and I'm like, should I jump? Should I not jump? Should I jump? Should I not jump? And I kept stepping back, and then here comes Kera, and she's like, jump. And I think since I've been jumping now, I'm just like, okay, this is a little scary, but okay, she got me. She got me. And I think that's what a sisterhood thing comes in because I knew what I needed to do. And I knew I was wrestling what I had to do. And then it was like, she was just like, sis, I'm kicking you off the ledge. And so every once in a while, when I think I'm falling, I'm like, Takara, and she keep it real 100. And I think when people shift, you need that tribe around you because if not, that self-doubt is real. I don't care how strong we think we are or how good we think we are. Once we start putting that little doubt, it makes us take baby steps when we should be jumping and leaping. So once again, it all ties into who you attract into your life and how they come into you. And like she pulled stuff out of me that I didn't even know was there. I knew it was there, but I really didn't know how important it was to share. And so I think having people around you that see you for you and not just like, oh, we could make money together or we could go in business or we could, that you is so important in that shift and having people around you. And then the other part of it is changing your behaviors. We could shift people all over the place. But I even had to sit down a couple of times and be like, nah, sis, you can't do that no more. Nah, you can't sit down no more. Nah, you got to be better than that because you're doing better than that. And that self-talk of positivity, oh, man, I'm off the ledge right now. Stand by.
That is so good. And that is so true. Like, it's scary. Like, that is the main point. And I think that's what keeps people from actually taking that leap and jumping and doing something different and something new because you are on that ledge like, should I not? And oftentimes we say, no, I'm not. I'm safe. I'm comfortable here with what I'm doing. That's it. But, I got to a point to where, I had to choose whether or not I was going to leap or stay. And that's how I wound up meeting Takara and meeting Liz, once I decided to move to Chicago. That was the scariest thing I've ever done. Like the biggest decision I've ever made to move 1,000 miles away from home just to, grow and develop and try to find bigger and better opportunities. But once you take that leap, there's something people don't tell you. Just like when you go to church and they say, okay, once you say that you're saved, they don't tell you what comes after that. You know what I mean? All the spiritual warfare and things that you have to go through. It's like once you say yes and take that leap, you have to be ready to completely shift.
Yes.
There are things about yourself that you will have to shed away. And like you said, change behaviors and do a new thing because you're doing a new thing. The old things will not serve you in that new place. And if you don't know that beforehand, it's going to put you in a whirlwind. Like it's really going to take you for a ride and you're going to have to really buckle in and kind of embrace all the changes because things are going to change and they're going to change swiftly. And if you don't catch up to what's happening, it could take you under, like you said, the doubt, the anxiety, the depression, the insecurities, all of those things will come if you're still clinging to those old things, trying to operate in a new place. So that's something that I experienced firsthand. I'm grateful for everything that, I went through, everything that I learned. I've grown tremendously. And like you guys were mentioning, the people that you have to let go, just to speak to them, because it's hard severing relationships. It's hard seeing someone change right in front of your eyes. You're not the same person that you used to be. but we have to respect people's journey. We didn't come here together holding hands. We have, things that we have to do. So, I mean, it was a good time for that amount of time, but we all have assignments and things that we are put here to live out. And whether or not you choose to is up to you. But please don't try to hold anyone else back or, disrespect their choices and what they choose to do as they choose to walk throughout their journey. That way you can sever relationships on a good note. There's no hard feelings, I don't hate you. It's just like I don't do the things that I used to do. Now you're more than welcome to come. It's gonna be tough and it's gonna be uncomfortable. But this is where, we are as we do shift. You know what I mean? So it's just about making that decision and then respecting other people's choices, whether or not they choose to stay the same or make that change. It is something we have to realize.
And that's so good. Sorry, no, that's so good. As you were talking, I just saw somebody's overstuffing a bag and then trying to take that bag with them everywhere that they go, knowing that they overstuffing it. And even like my grandma, hey Granny, I know you watching somewhere up through here, maybe on the replay. She's really good about. She taught me how to, Lord Jesus, how to pack. Like if you got shoes, roll the shirt real good and stuff it in a pair of them shoes. All the tricks and things that we need to pack. But it's like when you overpack that bag, it's too much for you to carry, and it's not meant for you to pack all that anymore. And then you trying to go to a different place, the bag gonna pop open. If you ever had that happen to you, or even I'm gonna take it a step further, you get ready to fly somewhere and your luggage is over the weight capacity, and you literally
pay that extra.
You pay extra. You try to shove cute stuff in your cute little backpack that you got, that's already made for certain things. You're like, I'm not trying to put my underwear in my computer bag or my bra in my computer bag, or the cute little things are supposed to be in another bag. It's supposed to go somewhere else. We try to carry all this stuff with us, and that's how we do people. We try to stuff them in everywhere and then be like, okay, let me carry them on the ride. When their weight alone can literally slow us down, but we want to have them on the ride with us. And so that's what I was hearing you talk about, taking those risks. And I mean, man, that's a game changer in itself. I know Coach Kera, she ready to jump in the game. We ready for you.
What I was gonna piggyback on is Takara knows what I used to say about my friends. They were like, I looked at it as their anchors. They were making me drown. And so I had to figure out, okay, I need to get back to swim mode, because if I have all these anchors holding me down, I got some on my legs, some on my arms, how can I get back up? How can I release? So this is actually my second shift I've ever done in my life. The first shift was during college time. I had to let go of people after I graduated with my second degree. And I moved to New York and did that. And I got around influential people. This is the second shift I'm making in my life where I've quit my job, I've had a baby, and I have friends that's still on that old stuff. So now I have to sever those 15-year relationships, because y'all are anchors. Y'all are drowning me. I can't keep pouring into everybody else and nobody's re-pouring back into me, because if my cup is empty, how can I fill somebody else's cup up? So I call it the rope burn. If I'm holding on to a rope and you're resisting my growth, you're burning me. You're hurting me. I got to cut that rope off. Now, if you're willing to grow with me and that rope isn't burning me, okay, I might keep you along if you're not resisting. But if you're resisting growth and you want to stay right here in the mud and stay where we were 10, 15 years ago, I have to let you go, because I'm trying to be a different woman than I was when I was 25. I'm about to be 35. So I think as you grow, everybody evolve as you get older. I think a lot of people want to keep that same mentality as what they were when they were 20 or 21 years old, and don't want to grow up and try to be on some grown man, grown woman stuff. So that's kind of what I want to piggyback on, is I have to visualize the anchors. Is this person an anchor? Are they pulling me back down into the depth of water? If this person is drowning me, I don't have a problem cutting people off. I've cut so many people off in my life. I don't have that issue. But I just know it's time for me to make that second shift in my life.
Right.
Totally
So
agree.
what would you guys say to a person who feels as though, they feel guilty for severing those relationships and they feel like they have to operate in those old ways sometimes and they kind of struggle going back and forth? Like, what advice would you guys give to a person who's kind of struggling letting those relationships go?
It goes back to knowing who you are. Go back to your core. Going back to your core values. Going back to your I am statements. Going back to understanding, do you know your true identity? Do you know your call? Do you know your purpose? And then build your foundation to be firm to then say, okay, I'm ready for an arm. Okay, are you it? Are you it? Oh, okay. Look, literally making them go through the are you it test. I'm for real. Are you qualified? And there's nothing wrong with qualifying people to be in your life. I don't know about y'all, but my oil is too precious just to waste on anybody if you're not a part of something that I'm supposed to be assigned to. Those days are over and done with. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Stick a fork in it because it's dead. I'm over it now. So, and I mean that with my whole heart. Like, I'd be like, oh, no, I can't be in that place to carry somebody who doesn't want to do the work to be carried. And so before you really go and place that pain, energy, guilt on yourself, do a reflection. What work are they doing? Are they, where do they serve? Are they your motivator? Or do they have interior motives to drag you in a direction where you no longer desire to go? And so a lot of us have relationships that are a part of history that aren't a part of destiny. So being able to separate those two, but in the middle there, you have to be so secure with who you are so you don't reach out in a history place to make you feel good because you're chasing after your destiny, which you should be. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. So a lot of times we reach back to what's familiar and what's good to us that can keep us in a place of comfort, because reaching out to this new place called destiny, it takes some faith leaps like no other. It takes, letting people go, even your family members that can't be in your ear as much as they used to be in your ear because they ain't talking nothing. They talking like Charlie Brown's teacher, won't want, won't want, won't want. And now you're finally woke to understand what they talking because you can translate. So going back to the core of understanding who you are and saying, okay, I value me so much now that I can no longer be, thank you, Jada Pinkett, entangled with this type of so
right.
Going back to that, and it's important. And that's where we fall off the ledge ourselves. We push ourselves off that own ledge because we don't do that self-check. We want to be that person that helps and saves and coaches and motivates, and we cannot do that with everybody. I learned a valuable lesson today myself where I can't talk about it live, but let's just say I'm back. Like it did something. I mean, when you can see that you're sacrificing elements of you to help others and they don't value what you have to give.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Nellie.
I was gonna say too, we all got to this point with growth. Really, if you really think about it, we were all in the same places where we sometimes see some of our friends that we said we need to let go of. But I truly believe everything in life happens for a reason, and there's lessons to be learned at every level of growth. And I think if somebody's stuck in there where they're like, okay, I don't know what next to do, the mindset is crazy, but you gotta want more. And when wanting more, that's when you make that personal decision to just make that step forward. But even I know sometimes we say let people go. To me, I say put people on timeout because you never know when you have to reach back to help somebody else up, because everybody don't grow at the same pace or the same level. So I'm not a true believer in cutting people out of my life completely unless they cross those certain boundaries that I put for myself. But we didn't get to this point by not being there with our friends, doing things we're doing, and then say, you know what, this ain't for me no more. So I think for Aisha, when you were asking, what would you say? It's one of them things where people say, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of doing the same thing, getting the same results, you have to take a step. But you have to feel that inside so hard that you like, okay, I can't do this no more. I need to take that step. But we just have to know that that doesn't mean that we have to completely cut people out. But we just got to have boundaries now so we can move on. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it kind of go back to what Tanisha and Takara have been saying is, it's how much you love yourself. How much do you value yourself? I always tell people, if you're struggling if you want to let go of somebody or start removing yourself from certain people, you have to ask, how much do you value yourself? Is this person hurting me, or are they adding value? If for you to even question it, you might need to start removing yourself from them. I always say, if you have to question it and say, what advice would you give me? Because I'm thinking about letting go of this person. I don't know if she's a good friend or he's a good friend. Okay, well, for you to question it, that means you already have a gray area. You already uncertain about something. So I always tell people, write down your values. Write down what is the things that's important to you in a friend. If that person don't check off most of those boxes, that's probably not the friend you need to keep. And that's just simple as that, is how much you love yourself, how much you value yourself. List those values down so you can see it on paper, because some people just need to see it. And it's like, okay, these are the things I value in a friend. This is what I want in a friend. If that person isn't checking off those boxes, why are they in your life just to say you have that friend, just to say you have 50 friends? Like, what is more important, having value or the number? And I always say, I always want quality, not the quantity. If I have good quality friends, 2 is good for me. I had 2 in high school, and that's all I need, because I had good quality friends. So, I mean, that's what I always say as advice. Look at what you value. Do you love yourself? Is this the type of friend you want? If you still uncertain, that's probably not the friendship you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to piggyback on that, what she just said. Okay, so it's like this. Is you going to continue to stay in bondage? Is you going to continue to let them have change on you, or you going to break your chain? Which one is going to be? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Okay, we on different levels. Doesn't mean you have to hate them. Just because you're separating yourself from them don't mean you have to be hatred. You could be mutual. You have to find a mutual place. It's just that, okay, we just ain't gonna do certain things with each other no more. I'm still here if you need me, but I have to go this direction because my shit has changed. I have outgrown some things. You are still in the old ways. I am coming into the new me, into the new ways. So I have to do what's best for me, because what's good for me might not be good for you. And at the same time as the shift, our race is going to be different. And I'm ready to run on. I can't continue to let you hold me back in bondage and slavery. That's what you got to ask yourself. And when you ask yourself that, if they cannot understand that, and you're being honest just like this, saying it just like that, then they're not the friend for you. We're going to keep it mutual. You can say hi, I say hi. You can go your direction, your lane, and I'm going to continue to be in mine. That's basic common sense. They will respect you more than that. You don't have to be enemies. Me and my best friend, we stopped, separated. We ain't talked for 3 years. We finally came to mutual ground, but we ain't buddies no more like bestie like we used to be. But I can be mutual. And why I have to be mutual? Because I cannot block my blessing. We can't be petty and negative and be mean because the way they act. Because God don't look at what they do to us. He look at what we do back to them. So it's continue to be a test for ourselves. So you always have to remember that as well. Okay, I can't do her like she did me, because God watching. You can't think that your blessing, He's gonna continue to bless you. And you gotta realize too, the enemy bless you too sometimes. Let's keep it real. When we think it's God, sometimes it don't be God. It be a setup. It be a setup at times. So we gotta look at things at all times with our discernment. And like she said, that's what I live for too, by core values. What is your core values when you're in your business and yourself? That's another thing we gotta look at. Do core values for yourself, how your mindset. Are you going to put yourself down. You're going to doubt yourself and let fear hold you back because you're worried about hurting your friend. You know what's best for you, but you don't want to go forward because you're worried about how your friend going to feel. So you're going to get her on board and tell her what you going to do. She either going to follow you and y'all going to do it side by side, not behind each other. We're going to stand side by side with each other and get it done together. If not, then it's okay. When you're ready, let me know and I'll pull you up. That's all. That's life. And people got to understand that. We just got to live for ourselves and what's best for us. Absolutely. And they just got to get on board. We keep bringing them, bring the horse to the water. You can't make them drink. So therefore, we can keep feeding them knowledge, but they not getting the inside their mindset. We wasting time. We holding ourselves back from being the blossom out as the butterfly we supposed to be. We can't continue to be a caterpillar. I refuse to be a caterpillar. I'm trying to be a butterfly. I want to fly away. And if you don't want to fly away with me, that's fine. I'll let you stay there for a little bit. Deuces, I'll let you later. And maybe I'll come back around and come pick you up when you're ready. That's all. Some people can't take it like that. I'm just outspoken, no filter. But that's how we got to be in this time and age, y'all. Let's keep it real, sisters. It's life. I let somebody hold me back for 10 years. And I refuse to go back another 10 years. It ain't going to work like that. We cannot do that. We got too much in us to let somebody hold us back in bondage. Them bondage days is over. It's time for the overflow.
And what I love, something that you said, Tanisha, and a lot of people feel that it's so bad to do what I'm getting ready to say, is to be selfish. Yep. We hear being selfish is such a bad thing. Oh, you're selfish. That you're so wrong. And I've been very guilty of that, because when I've heard that word, it always meant negative until I'm starting to learn that you have to be selfish, because if not, you're going to serve everybody else but self. And you're going to be sitting here wondering why you're this, you're that, or you ain't this and you ain't that, because you haven't learned how to serve yourself. And so for me, that was like one of the most challenging areas ever, especially in this entrepreneur walk. Like, I just recently, in the past 2 weeks, on my scheduler and in my mind, Fridays, I don't take any calls relating to work, to my business, nothing. No, don't. And I scheduled one by accident, which I have to cancel. I told myself before I got on the live, I'm like, oh, I gotta send them an email and cancel, because I have to start putting measures in place for me to, like Viola was saying, to establish that mental health place for myself. And being selfish allows for you to be that much more great, because you're pouring into self, so you can be more valuable to those that you've been called to serve. Let's start with that. Or just the relationships that you have. So when your friend comes to you, you ain't empty. You ain't in your flesh giving bad advice, knowing that it's ranky and janky and all that, because you in your feelings. But they came to you and you feel like you got to give them something. Come on. I know y'all done been there before. You'd be like, yeah, come, let me say something. Psalms 23, go read it, girl, and holler at me later. You know, something, you know, is making you right, because you're not in a place to be in that overflow, to really be on fire, because you have not served yourself. And so, you know, that part right there, being selfish, allows for you to even embrace your new places, because you're in a place where you are conscious that you're serving self. So, I mean, that for me, that's a game changer all by itself. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get a pedicure tomorrow, but it definitely means I'm not taking no phone calls related to business, or I'm not responding to anybody's text messages, responding to, hey, can I get on your calendar next week? You know, if anything, I might send them my calendar link, and that's it. That's all. Figure it out. You know, but anything else, go to the website. You know, we ain't about to hop on no calls. We ain't about to do no Zoom tomorrow. The only Zoom I'm doing is probably walking around this young block here and getting my exercise on. Zoom that, okay? Anything else, I'm not. And it's okay to put those boundaries in place, because we cannot be our best selves. We cannot. So I love what you said about being selfish and just being real. I think that being authentic is so, man, I can be very transparent. There would be times where I'd be the fakest thing ever to folks. I can't do it now. I'm allergic. I break out in hives if I even think about being fake. This I can't anymore. That place no longer serves me. It's like, no, you're gonna get this realness, you're gonna like it or love it, and if you don't, that's fine too. But this is who I am now. And I've embraced all of me. And I don't care if you don't like me or not. I finally have conquered that. And I know y'all have too. That in itself, that's a huge thing to be able to say, I'm gonna do me and not care what you think anymore. Because your thoughts ain't paying these bills.
Yes. That's all right. Say that again.
Look, your thoughts ain't putting nothing towards these machines that I'm buying for my entrepreneurship journey. So yeah, your thoughts can go all the way and sit in the corner with a dunce hat on. Y'all remember that back in the cartoons when you get in trouble? Get the big old dunce hat and sit in the corner. Or my babysitter used to threaten us to put soap in our mouths when we said something nasty. So yeah, go sit somewhere and meditate on the things that you need to do for you. But don't come over here in this lane talking about you need to, you should do.
Or who do you think you are?
Right. I'm gonna say
you should have, could have, would have.
You got $400 to invest in who you think you are. Come on, you can run that. I'll listen to you. Cash app, sale. I'll even do that. Come on.
Girl. Let's get it on and popping for real, for real. I know that's right. Let me tell y'all, like I used to be the supporter, and I still say I'm the supporter, but with boundaries, with limitations. There's that little asterisk sign that's there. It's not a star, it's an asterisk. Okay. I'm quick to tell folks, this is my disclaimer. You can't do X, Y, and Z. This is I'm quick to say that now because now I don't want the pressure of you thinking that you can just walk all up in my house, in my life, in my world, my zone, my energy, my vibe, and kill it with your thinking. And literally, I had to it got to a point where it got really bad, especially with family. Ooh, with family, immediate family at that. But sometimes you have to put them in their place. I just had that moment with my mother. I love her dearly. But I literally had to put her in her place because at the end of the day, it's like, look, Ma, you said what you said, and you said it so shady. So I'm gonna repeat I'm just gonna give it back to you because at the end of the day, it's like I need you. Oh, that hurt. It burned, didn't it? Oh, okay. Don't do that to me. I get it. I love you. Just don't do it back to me. I've constantly said that. And it's like, if I can't get rid of my mama, I'm not going to try. But other folks, I think I've taught women along the way. The one thing that girls will constantly come back and tell me, especially ones that I've worked with in the past, back during AT&T days, they literally used to tell me, they're like, Liz, you know what I learned from you? I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, I've learned how to delete, block, dismiss, and keep it moving. I said, how you learned that from me? I didn't teach you that. They was like, yeah, you did. And it's such a great thing to know. And I'm just like, really? I was like, oh, okay. Well, some people you just have to do that with because if they're going to be an annoyance, they're going to creep up back in your life. They're going to be like, oh, girl, we should do X, Y, and Z together. And then, flake on you or do you dirty in some way or form or don't show up or shows up but then leave you without telling you anything. Girl, I've been through it. And because I'm such a supporter, it's like when you literally have to take several steps back, look and then analyze the situation and sit there and say like, this is not for me. I can't do this. And then be very and stick to your word when you say that. Don't backtrack. Don't fall, don't take several steps forward to take 10, 20 steps backwards. If you're going to commit to yourself. And I'm kind of struggling with that right now, committing with myself. but at the same time, I'm also noticing that it's just like, okay, like, no, you're not going to call me at any of your time. You're not going to do X, Y, and Z. Um, what I can suggest to you, you know what? Then I start suggesting, and then that comes off as shade. And I'm trying my best not to be petty with folks either. So you have to, kind of put your foot down and say, look, you know what you're doing is not right. And list it off. Why is it not right? I like you, but me and you used to be great friends, yet, or I use the yes and. Yes, you did do all those things. And now you're doing this. Okay. When I took what was it? That's impromptu classes, girl. I used that to my advantage. I was like, oh yes, Ann is my best friend. We're gonna use this going forward. And you literally have to kind of just stop people where they are and just put them in kind of like in their place, but not in a negative or rude kind of way. Tanisha said it best. She's like, you understand, like you get it, where you just like, okay, some people are just meant to keep you grounded. I learned the difference between Sarah Jakes, when she just recently did one this past Sunday. She was talking about the difference of sacrifice versus struggle. Okay. And literally was saying, like, do you really understand the difference? Like, we struggle, we go through so much, we cry it out, we don't have food to put on our tables, things of that nature. But what are you really sacrificing? And I think a lot of people are misconstruing or misunderstanding the difference between the two. And I say that I bring that up because a lot of people think that, oh, they sacrifice friendships. Oh, I let you go because of X, Y, and Z. But you didn't tell me what X, Y, and Z was. So who are you really doing it for? You're like, in that sense, that's selfish. I get that sense. The other part is saying, I just got to keep it moving. And if you can't have those conversations, it goes back to the beginning. If you can't have those conversations, then unfortunately, you're going to continue feeling the burden of having to keep and pull people up. That bag lady, like, you going to be that bag lady. You're going to continue putting all them bags on your back. You're going to definitely hurt your back. Like, come on. At the end of the day, you really have to just learn to, when you start to learn, like, oh, that friend is not good for you. Like, when your parents tell you that's not a friend, you start to like take heed, like, oh, that person really isn't a friend. Oh, that's what my mama was talking about. I got it now. Makes sense. That aha moment kicks in. So, truly, Isha, compared to what you were saying, like, yeah, some people need a quick, they need a full debriefing as to what's about to happen. Mm-hmm. And then other people just can kind of sense off the vibe, like, something's not right. What's going on? Mm-hmm. And be okay with, like, all right, so right now we're just not in a place of friendship right now, and it's okay. No beef, no harm, no foul. I'm gonna go my way, you go your way, and when I see you, and it'll be great, and it'll be nothing but love, because there was nothing. Yeah. No turmoil.
Well, I want to just add kind of to what Liz was saying. I had to recently cut off my in-laws. Now, y'all can call that mean, whatever, but they were awful with me, and I don't know what was the issue, but I slowly found out that I wasn't important to them because I didn't have a kid with my husband yet. They were more concerned with my husband's ex-wife. So once I found out that was the issue, and I'm not important because I'm the current wife, but I have no children, now they want to be nice to me because I have a kid now. But the first 3-4 years, they gave me hell. And I don't know why. I'm actually, in my opinion, I felt I was a good catch. I didn't have any baggage. I have 2 degrees. I was taking care of myself before my husband came into place. So I had a business. So I didn't understand what was the issue. So when I had to realize like I had to like get rid of that and cut that tie, it was causing my whole energy to change when I'm around them because it was fake, it wasn't genuine. You can tell they're fake, and then they'll go off and tell my husband or his friends some things, and then it gets back to me. And I was like, okay, I'm too grown for that. And, I don't deal with that with my own family. So I'm definitely not going to deal with it with in laws. And like I told my husband, they're not providing the 3 F's. So I can't worry about your side of the family. And if you don't want to fix it and mend that relationship, then I can't do it. So I had to tell him I can't be around. I'll be around his grandmother and that's it, and his parents. Because, me and the dad, Takara knows, me and the dad had to get into it about 3 times before we got to understand it. I'm not a person to back down. And he thought he could just tell me what to do, and I'm supposed to sit down with my legs crossed. So I had to tell him immediately who I was and what I was about. And we just now got a good understanding where he know not to talk crazy to me. So I've had to cut that off, y'all. I hated to do it. I've never had an issue with nobody's family. I've met a lot of people I dated in the past. Family mothers love me. I've never. This is the first time in my years of dating where I'm having issues with in-laws, especially the father, not the mother. Usually it's the mother. The dad usually chill. Now this daddy ain't chill. He got a lot of things to say, and he'll tell you anything. So I had to let that be known, and I didn't want to mess up that relationship because that is his parents. But the uncles, cousins, and all that, I done cut all that out.
What are the 3 F's?
Ooh-wee. That's what I want to know.
Right.
What's the 3 F's?
Notes over here.
Wait, what y'all want to know?
What is the 3 F's?
Yeah. Do we get
I don't want to say the bad word, but it's effing, feeding, and financing.
Facts.
So,
Okay.
I can't really be worried about what you say because, like people always say, everybody got an opinion. You have every right to it. I can't be worried about that. If you're not providing the 3 F's, okay, it's not important to me.
Absolutely.
My. Look, okay. I like the 3
That
F's.
goes back to, first of all, setting those boundaries, like you were saying, respecting yourself, letting people know that you respect yourself. So if they can't do the same in your space, then they can go somewhere. But definitely knowing your value when it comes to dealing with other people. Like if you don't know what you're worth, they will tell you what you're worth, and they will show you in the way that they treat you. So definitely knowing, who you are, which will give you that confidence to stand up for yourself when people think that they can infiltrate and come in and do whatever they want to do, any way that they want to do it. And that also speaks to, when we were talking about friends, goes back to those friends who come in and want to use what you have for their betterment. And like you were saying earlier, not pouring back into you. But when you don't know your value, you'll just freely give and not really knowing how valuable what you have is. And as long as you're giving, it's coming to take. So, at some point you have to realize, okay, you come back way too often. So you must be getting something out of this. What am I not seeing that I have that is so valuable to you? You know what I mean? So when it comes to that, I was thinking of like, you have to barter your gifts. You have those people who come in and try to take and use, what you have because they know what you have is valuable. But you have to barter your gifts. If you're not paying me for my services, for my gifts, for the things that you see that's valuable in me, give me something that you have. What service that you have, what product that you have, what, monetary compensation that you have. We have to stop selling ourselves short in that sense in order to really start valuing ourselves and operating in such a place, because that's the only way we're going to get to that next level.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel you. you definitely have to, like, yeah, I agree with you, Isha, on that end. Like being able to trade those services between each other, and really understand the value that you hold. And don't ever price yourself lower than what you are to be given on that end. Because then when you think like, oh, I don't want to raise the price, or I don't want to, I don't want to raise that level or anything of that nature, then it starts to become like, okay, again, reevaluate, check yourself, up it up, and then go back in and now stand there in bold face negotiation type style and say, look, this is what it is. We're not going to sugarcoat. We're not going to go around. If you can't meet this price, then, or you can't meet this service, then, I guess there's nothing left to be said.
Right.
So how do we shift from our old mindsets to a new mindset when it comes to embracing the new people that are coming into our lives, and make sure that we don't treat them like old people? So,
That's such a good question.
man, and I struggled with that, and I still struggle with it when it comes to a certain type of people, because of the hurt and the residue that's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how do we really say, you know what, they're not the ones who hurt me. They're not the ones who did this. So why do I feel so much this when I haven't even given them the chance to be who they are in my life or in your life, or whoever wants to take this question?
I'll take it.
Go ahead, take it. Because you
Well,
got me stuck on the 3F.
Well, no, I treat it like I did when I was dating. I don't go in with bad baggage because of the last man. The same thing with friendships. Just because this woman or friend did wrong by me, I can't go in assuming the same from the other person. I first get rid of all that hate, that bitter, that anger, whatever I'm feeling towards the past, and I go in with a clean slate with somebody new. That's the only way you can evolve and be open to new people and change. If you're still dragging if I drag in every single pain and hurt and anger that I felt with all the exes I had, I wouldn't have met this man. I wouldn't have got married. I'd still be single without a kid. I had to let go of everything before I start a new friendship or relationship. It's the same mentality for me. I go in with a clean slate. That is in the past. That person, I RIP them, is done. So I'm gonna start new. That person has been buried. She got tombstoned. Is done. So that's how I did even with dating. I didn't even bring in that hurt when I start dating. If he asks about the past relationship, I give him just the surface level, and we gonna keep it moving.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though. You have to heal from those, even friendships and those people who've done you wrong. Forgiveness is so powerful in that sense. Like you have to forgive those people who you felt have wronged you, even if they don't know anything about it. Even if you never have a conversation with them, within yourself, you have to know that I'm going to let that situation go that was in the past. If I'm going to allow someone else new into my situation and my energy right now, I have to be fair enough to allow them, like you said, a clean slate in order for them to, in order for you to really embrace and benefit from the relationship. It's easier said than done. Definitely.
Yeah,
but that's just one thing that has to take place in order to move forward with the new. Like you have to let the old go. You have to let the past go. That's the only way that you're going to be able to move forward and operate. And like I said, benefit from those new relationships, friendships, partnerships, whatever it is that you're looking to come into. So definitely forgiveness.
Forgiveness is a practice. So in order for you to forgive, you have to practice it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. It's the inner you. You got to heal in the inner you. And you still feel like you have a little residue because you're not healed in that situation yet. And you just have to take it to God. And that's when we do the thrusting prayer. A lot of people don't understand they're like spiritual. It's not all about being spiritual. Let's keep it real. We know God is real. You can't do it by yourself. You know you're not doing it by yourself. You know you need God to lean on to make a better you. So why not vent to him? Plenty of times since I've been there. I had a lot of hatred in my heart. I had to depend on God and cry plenty of nights by asking to heal. I had to repent. That's the main thing. We have to repent, even though we don't see our wrong. And it's not that we're wrong. We have to heal because we have to ask for forgiveness for being bitter. We have to ask for forgiveness for feeling the way we feel. We have to ask for not forgiveness just for only not for us, but for them too. You have to forgive the person that hurt you because they leave marks on us. So you have to just come one accord with yourself. I find meditation is the best thing when I really want to try to heal my enemy and really just write it out. We say this to people all the time, but write things out to ourselves. Just look at it, reflect on it. I still do it to this day. I still do it. I have no shame to say it. It's sometimes when the flesh just make me crawl, the old me want to come out and just say hello. And then I gotta put Kera back in the box because that ain't the person you want to see. We done came from that. So sometimes we have to reflect in our inner us and look at ourselves like, okay, that's the enemy trying to make me act like a fool. You can't win right now. You have no video of this. You have this is not your territory. So sometimes we have to pray some things out. A lot of people don't look at it because everybody's not spiritual. But you know who made you. You know that God is real. Why not bet to him? Pray about it. Ask him to make you new, make you whole. We can't go forward until we forgive ourselves. We can forgive others, but sometimes we don't forgive ourselves like we should. So it starts with us back again, came back again. It's the power that's inside of you. You know, pain is our purpose. So some pain is good, sister, some pain is bad, but we got to stay focused on what's really important. And if you feel like you continue to go back and back, then maybe sometimes we don't want to hear this. I didn't want to hear it, but I'm going to keep it real. Sometimes we got to go talk to somebody higher than just our friends and just God. Maybe we need to go see a psychiatrist. Not saying that we're crazy, but we got to find a comfortable place to vent to somebody that we trust. Because our friends, let's keep it real, our friends, our mother and in-laws, family members ain't gonna always be there. Sometimes they're not the good person to go talk to because they're gonna take what they want, subtract what they want, add on to it. It's talk about your business, keep it real. So why not go to the Father ourselves, our God, Lord and Savior? And if we can't depend to take everything to the cross to him, then we need to find somebody that we're comfortable with and talk to them.
Amen.
I talk to myself all the time. As long as you don't answer yourself, it's fine. But I talk to myself to get clarity because sometimes I need to look at myself and be like, Tisha, are you okay today? Like really, write it out. If you're really okay today, what's the problem? Let's get to the point of the problem. And once you do that, it's a better us. It's a better us.
So just to piggyback off of you, I agree with you 100%. And one thing I personally have learned with forgiveness is not about the next person; it's about you. And you have to do it for yourself more than ever because I know for myself personally, my prayer was always God, please keep my heart pure. So when you do bring the right person in front of me, whether it be family, friends, or whatever, that I could accept what you're sending to me. So that's just a prayer that I say for myself to move on because I truly believe if you keep it in you, he won't bring the good things to you.
That's good. And
so you're going to keep a little something. And when he's trying to bring that new friend in, you're so mad at the old friend, you don't even see the goodness coming in. So it's really about you forgiving yourself because we do stuff and we have to say, you know what, Nellie, that was stupid. But you got to forgive yourself and get it out and pray and say, Lord, okay, I'm going to please help me keep my heart open so I could keep my mind open. So whatever good is coming in, it could replace that badness. And it's a process. It's not something overnight. Because as many times, trust me, I said I pray many times. It's not something you say today and then you forget tomorrow. And that's self-talk. I love saying, let me look in the mirror, girl. Check yourself. And we have to do it. Just don't answer yourself. Because then we got a problem.
See, then I guess I got a problem.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I answer myself too, Liz. I guess we in the boat all by ourselves.
Because sometimes you gotta be like, get up.
Like you gotta talk to yourself, but if you asking God a question, why are you answering yourself?
I definitely sometimes have to repeat it out loud just to make sure I didn't go psycho. Because sometimes you have to make sure, like, hold on. Because there'll be those moments, those random moments at that when you hear something and you're like, hold, you question it, and then they say it again. So you say, I have to say it out loud. You want me to do this? You sure? Before I step out my house and go do it, because I sure enough, Because there's plenty of times when I haven't done that, and then I miss my opportunity.
But that's your self-talk. That's you telling yourself, like, hey, I'm talking about like when you sitting there and you like, I did this, so I need to do that. To me, if you're gonna pray and you're gonna have faith that he gonna answer your questions for you. You just have to have the relationship with him, and when he do answer, it's from him.
Yes.
Not somebody else. I'm in the shower is my thing. If I'm in the shower and something hit me in my head, I'm like, okay, Lord, thank you. And now I march on with it. It haven't failed me yet.
What's that?
This has been such a rich conversation. I definitely want to wrap this up and respect everybody's time on tonight on our new night, our new time, and new segments. And all things new, like I need to get a new computer because I cannot see y'all again yet. But anyways, hallelujah. Thank you for the confirmation of new.
Nope, you muted yourself.
You on mute.
Nope. That face. There she go. Oh, nope.
You're muted.
There we go.
There you go.
See, okay, here we go. This has been great. So we're excited. We're here every Thursday night, 6:30 Central Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Every Thursday, we bringing y'all something in reference to all things new. So next week, we're gonna be talking about. Get your folks on the platform who want to learn about birthing a new business and don't know where to start. We want to talk about that new money, that wealth transfer that is in y'all near future. And so we want to prepare y'all for it so y'all know what to do with it. So Liz going to be coming to us, dropping these nuggets about all things money and debunking your debt. So we're excited that we're here on Thursday nights with y'all. We do have something very special coming up at the end of the month, but we ain't gonna tell y'all yet. We're gonna see how much y'all be tuned in on Thursday nights before we drop that young jewel about what we got for y'all at the end of the month. I'm gonna tell y'all this. It's quite the lineup. Millennials, you're gonna want to make sure that you are tuning in for our special night coming up at the end of the month. We got some dope people that are going to be talking to y'all about something y'all all need to hear the tea about. So y'all don't get entangled. That's all I'm going to say. I had to. Sorry.
You just loving that word right now, ain't you?
It's petty. Yeah, I love it. It is petty. It is so funny. So Nellie P, thank you so much. Coach Nellie P. She is in the VA area. She's doing some amazing things with people who need counseling. They need conflict resolution. Those who are getting the transition out of the military, who need a life plan. She is your woman to help you create that life plan. So she's really dope at what she does. And Coach Kera, all things success coach, business coach out there in Texas, doing her thing. And so we're really excited to have her on the platform tonight. She was dropping some jewels, y'all. You can definitely tell she got some nuggets from being on the platform too. So this is what this is all about. Being able to lean and rock with one another as sisters, empowerment, all things entrepreneurship, relationship, love, whatever we talk about in reference to helping women stick together and build each other up as sisters. True sisters.
Amen.
True sisters, knowing who they are, staying in their lane, and wanting to be empowered by other amazing women who are doing the same. Not just the ladies of Vault Talk, but anybody that we bring on this platform to be able to shove women into their destinies even the more. Shove. I like that. Shove. Okay. I'm done. Ladies, you guys have any parting words before we end the show?
I
Just
do.
be yourself in order to see your new. Be open to shift. Be open to new things, doing new things, seeing, saying, eating, praying, all that extra stuff that you don't do and you say you can't. Just
Uh-oh.
be open to new things and you'll definitely start to see a change.
Amen.
Amen.
Liz, Lady Liz, what you got for us?
First off, I want to say happy birthday to all the Leos out there.
It must be her month, y'all. It must be her month.
birthday's around the corner.
Look,
So-
if you sure didn't say anything about the Capricorns when it was their month, or
Look,
ain't
okay.
it was their
I like
month.
to celebrate birthdays. I've been celebrating for the last 2 weeks. I've been
She
going
is on 29. Okay, happy birthday to Liz.
Yeah.
Since we're gonna be celebrating Liz all month, clearly.
No, but definitely, yes. Definitely just be open to everything that's going on. Allow your heart to heal, and also just, be you in every possible way. Don't let anybody tell you different. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't be anything that you want to be. And don't let yourself tell yourself that you can't do it. Okay, so just go out there, write it all down, speak it up, change that vocab, change your thoughts, start to think positively, and you got this. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, I'm thinking that. Okay, Liz. Okay, Lady Liz. Excuse me. Her new title, Lady Liz. Excuse me. All things new, Lady Liz. Sorry, my
Yes,
bad.
the haircut is brand new too. That was the other new thing.
Come through. Yes. All right, Tanisha, Ramsey Lane.
It's release season. That's what it is, release season. So therefore, we're breaking our bondages.
Yeah.
Don't be in bondage. It's time for a change. We already know about the shift. We already know about release. And matter of fact, Liz, since you said that, it is the rebirth month.
Mm-hmm.
It's rebirth season. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's time to change. Completely new thing. We're in rebirth season. So soak it all in. That's what I got to say.
Yes. What you got for us, girl? What you got?
I got that. I pray that everyone entertain great hopes because your future is based on the promises of God.
Amen.
Yes.
That it is.
All right, Coach Kera.
Don't be afraid to choose yourself first, because this is your journey. It's nobody else's journey. You got people going with you through your journey, but this is your journey. It is okay to choose yourself first. Always choose yourself first.
Amazing. Well, you heard it here. This has been a fantastic switch to Thursday nights live with the ladies of All Talks. I'm excited. I like saying that. Thursday night. I love it. Look, I can sleep in on a Saturday morning now. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how. We're going to learn, see how that works. And, real talk. Real talk. I was reflecting before tonight's show. Vault Talks has been in existence since March of 2018. So I can't believe that it started off as the radio show and has evolved to this. And wow, it's such an honor and privilege to have. I have the dopest squad there is. These women are sisters. They got my back. They, even when I come up with crazy ideas, they go with my crazy, and I love it. They make my crazy sound so dope without me even realizing. I'm like, oh, for real? Yeah, I love them to pieces. And so we appreciate you guys, Nellie P and Coach Kera and Viola Hall. We know that you're probably either watching this or you're going to catch the replay because you're dedicated to Vault Talks. Thank you. So thank you to all our viewers. We hope y'all invite somebody next week. All things new business. If y'all don't know, now you know. This is the year to birth a new business. Y'all been sitting on it for way too long. If COVID hasn't showed y'all anything, it's time to get y'all lives all the way together. Don't leave an ounce out when it comes to this entrepreneurship walk, because that's where your real joy is made known and your purpose is made known, when you can birth out a business and say, that was me and Jesus right there. and so be able to own it and walk in it. But that's next week. So, mwah, we love you. Good night. Out.